rest of this year. He's going to be on top of it again next year. But Meek coming out, he's game in this front headlock position. And again, when you're kind of playing defense in the back half of this duel, Meek's not too bad of a guy as long as you can keep the other one off your legs.
Blake West, last season NCAA qualifier, didn't win at NCAAs in Kansas City, but a second-place finish at the MAC Championships. Lost to Lock Haven's Anthony Noto, who is an All-American, but Noto now at 133, so the door open for Blake West.
I think it's open wide for him. I'm not really sure there's somebody in the MAC that really steps up to challenge him. You know, him being ranked at about number 20 or so, he could really be a top 15 guy depending on the rankings I think you look at, and that leads the way for the MAC at 125 for sure. But Meek finds himself into a leg, into a bit of a waterfall, but this is where West can get real tricky down on the mat. But Meek seems to be pretty confident with that leg locked.
Can Ryan Meek pull something out of his hat here? The sophomore.
But West flattens him out perfectly, goes opposite shoulder to put all the pressure on Ryan Meek and was able to break the lock, get around. He's got his three. Now we're going to see if it's going to be a takedown clinic from Blake West or if he's got the opportunity for 6 points.
And that's really what Northern Illinois needs to have any shot at coming back here down 20-8.
You really need two of them. You need Markel Baker to come out 133 and do the same thing against another just kind of stingy guy as long as you're not finishing quickly. If you're going to ride him out, it's going to be hard to get Ryan Meek over. It's going to be hard to get TJ England over at 133. But West has got the armbar on the back, and now the official does agree with people in the crowd that is a little too much.
42 seconds left here in the first period. 3-0 Blake West, the NCAA qualifier last season for NIU, the only NCAA qualifier last season for the Huskies.
This is a year kind of set up for him. They did a lot of tournaments as a full team kind of early in the year, different opens, different tournaments. You know, they didn't wrestle but I think one duel there in the first half of the season, and that's a lot because they wanted to get Blake West good matches, knowing that his MAC schedule wasn't kind of going to set up the rigor for him to, necessarily qualify him should an injury happen, something like that, and he misses, like, the MAC tournament.
Well, this is something that we talked about earlier as the final seconds come off the first period. Blake West with a statement loss against Matt Ramos. He only lost 5-4 by decision. We were talking about that earlier, the significance of that. Matt Ramos of Purdue, number one in the nation at 125. To lose the way he lost was impressive, right?
It was, and I think that also shows this 125-pound weight class last year, this year, both of them, I mean, they are very all over the place. I think Matt Ramos is a pretty clear number one, probably a guy that you will see in the national final there in the Saturday night in March. But everybody else, 2 through all the way down here to 20 with Blake West, you could see any combination of them hit the podium later. And he does a good job getting a reversal there off of a big lift from Meek. Just kind of popped up off of it and was right on top of him.
Coach Greenlee put his head down, and he knows this is a tough matchup for his young sophomore, Ryan Meek, who is very receptive to any coaching you give him. Coach Greenlee really highlighted that about Ryan Meek. He can make changes on the fly. And he's got a tough one right here in front of him against Blake West. Gets the one-point escape and is on the board.
Because that was a pretty good turn of his hips and just kind of slid his way out. Wasn't really West giving it up. It was a solid escape there for Meek. Talk about his coachability. You've seen him multiple times kind of be the one to not give up the tech fall, not give up the major late in those matches there, kind of protecting dual leads. And that's exactly what Coach Greenlee loves about him, is he knows the moments. That's another quick takedown there for West. So we sit at 8-1.
Cody Walters, assistant coach, yelling, hands forward And as you can see, Meek's hands are forward now.
Again, trying to keep the wrists away from West, not letting him put it on the back and give him that turn opportunity. But he goes half tilt instead. Meek almost popped up, got his hips turned, but now West seems to be settling in to just hold on here for the final 10 seconds. Might be able to get this tilt, but a good job by Meek to go all the way through.
To the third period we go, 8-1. Blake West, the redshirt junior from the state of Minnesota. In high school, he had 98 total pins, a two-time state champion. Coach Ludwig said that area, Shakopee High School, great area for wrestling.
And he certainly hit it hard. We talked about earlier. You got the Ottawa guys, the Shakopee High School guys. Plenty of them. You look through this roster for Northern Illinois. So it's a place that he likes to recruit, and obviously the coaches up there like him enough to keep telling their guys to go. As he's going to quickly work to another takedown and get it 11-2, locks in the major. And now he's going to start working for this tech here in this third. And this might be the spot, again, where Coach talks about Ryan Meek being coachable. Know in the moment. Can't give up that extra point.
And that is exactly the key for him. Even though he's not going to win, he's going to have to limit the bonus points.
He might have even found a bit of a corner. Good job to get back to his feet. If he can just kind of break out of these ties for a minute, give himself about a 5-second reset, it's going to go a long way, and he finally does. Under a minute to go even. 11-3, riding time point locked. Just got to not give up the extra takedown here. But he does give that one up. Again, just a bit of an errant shot there on somebody who is as skilled as Blake West. Coach Ludwig saying cut him hard. Go see if you can get one more.
That would be a big-time get for Blake West. Right now sitting at the major decision mark.
As I believe it is, yeah, he was still in control. They didn't give him the escape, so 17 seconds to try to get this tech fall.
If anybody can do it, it's Blake West.
Kind of needs to go feet to back, though, with 10 seconds to go. And Meek only one stall warning, so he can kind of hang out as well. West isn't going to be able to get it done. Meek does the right thing in the long run and gets himself away with just the major decision loss. Could not figure out my words.
Been a long day here.